Hey folks, what's up? This is Adam here. I can't see the guy. Coming back to the Hellraiser franchise. In the mood to review this franchise, and I've already made a start. I've already reviewed Hellraiser 1, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, and Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Now, in my opinion, the trilogy of the Hellraiser movies are the best ones, you know. And straight after that, we get a series, which I've not seen the series in a long time because they're not worth remembering some of them, but the one I'll review today is one that came out in 1996, and it's the fourth one, Hellraiser 4 Bloodline. This is a multi-feature Blu-ray set. It contains Hellraiser Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, and Hellworld. And I do have Deader on DVD. For some strange fucking reason, Deader wasn't involved in this set, but maybe they thought themselves it's not fucking worth a Blu-ray release or whatever the fuck, but I can understand why. Now, I've not seen the series in a long time, but since I'm reviewing these movies, I thought I'd watch them all one by one and then do a review on them. Well, I just got done watching Bloodline just a few minutes ago. You know, please excuse me for all the paint on my shirt. Doing a bit of decorating today, so did a bit of decorating. Now I'm taking a break because I've done a first coat. Thought to myself, hey, I'm reviewing the fucking Hellraiser movies, so let's go and watch Hellraiser 4 Bloodline, you know, because that's where I'm at. Now, this is the beginning of when the Hellraiser movies, in my opinion, start to go downhill, because Hellraiser 4 was the last Hellraiser movie that came onto the cinema or in theatres. It is the fourth one, and overall, how do I feel about it? It's kind of like mediocre meh. The movie's been fucked up with on so many different levels. I mean, I've not seen Hellraiser 4 in a long time. I mean, the first three movies I've seen countless times. In fact, I've seen them that many times that I could act in myself and play everybody's role. But in Hellraiser 4, it's one of those Hellraiser movies that I've not seen continuously like the first three movies. You know, I mean, I don't know how to feel about the idea of Pinhead being in space. I mean, that usually happens with a lot of characters when they have no ideas or plans left for them. I mean, Pinhead's not the only horror icon who's made it into space. Leprechaun made it into space. Jason Voorhees made it into space, and Jason X. You know what I mean? So, but if I had to think about those three movies, you know, Jason X, Leprechaun in space, and Hellraiser 4 in space, I have to say Hellraiser 4 in space is probably the best one out of the three. You know, but I do like Leprechaun in space. You know, it's a guilty pleasure, but I don't like Jason X. That's another review for a different day. I mean, this movie Hellraiser, it has a past, present, and a future, and in my opinion, it starts to get a little confusing. I mean, the film opens up with this guy messing around with the configuration box, and his bloodline is cursed, and he tells this to a woman that his bloodline is cursed, and he goes back to the past where a toy maker is building the first configuration box, which he wants to sell to a magician who's into black magic. You know, and one thing leads to another, and Pinhead arrives. And throughout the whole middle part of the film, it's about Pinhead causing havoc on this spaceship where all these soldiers are trying to stop Pinhead because the original plan was to stop Pinhead once and for all, but he gets arrested. And later on throughout the film, he tries to warn people about the Pinhead, but he knows the plan to stop Pinhead once and for all. But unluckily, Pinhead gets released. He's causing havoc in space, basically. It was nice to see Doug Bradley come back. You know, he does play Pinhead for the fourth time. So it was nice to see the same actor come back. I was a little disappointed that we didn't see the Cenobites from part 3 in this movie. Because if you remember, the Cenobites didn't die. Joey Summerskill, the reporter, simply banished them with the box. At least when Kirsty banished the Cenobites with the box in part 1, they came back in part 2. But Joey Summerskill, but those Cenobites got killed off in part 2 by Dr. Gennard. But where in part 3, when Joey Summerskill used the box to take care of the Cenobites, they did not come back. I mean, can you honestly say that the Cenobites were really thought through properly in this movie? I mean, yes, I remember the scene, where the heads are all conjoined together in that one Cenobite. But to tell you the truth, the only Cenobite that comes to mind in this movie is the dog Cenobite. Because there was like a Cenobite of a dog in this movie. I do remember that very clearly. And I thought to myself, that's pretty cool. A dog Cenobite, it's different and weird, but it's a nice little change. And another thing that was a nice touch, that Kim Myers is in this movie. And Kim Myers, for those of you who don't know, played Lisa in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. She's in this movie. And she plays the mother of that kid who... the kid that gets kidnapped by the Pinhead in this movie. What else stood out in this movie? I like the decapitation scene, where Pinhead says, "No more games." And this chain shoots out, goes through this guy's throat. It opens up, pulls back, the guy's head falls off, and then Pinhead's doing the evil laugh. I have to say that's my favourite scene in the movie. Where Pinhead does that "no more games." And I believe that video is uploaded on YouTube and got seen countless times by many viewers also. Now, Hellraiser Bloodline, like I said at the start of this review, it's like, it's not like one of those Hellraiser movies where you can sit down and pay attention to it fully all the way through like you did with the first 3 Hellraiser movies. I mean, they give Pinhead a lot more to do in this movie. In my opinion, the film that he got a lot more to do with was in part 3. At least in that film, he was kicking ass, killing people in the city, etc. You know what I mean? But the whole thing about the ancestor being the toy maker, making that configuration box, to give us this magician, basically it was like a background story about how the box came about. That was a nice touch. It was nice to see it go back in time. And see how the first configuration box was made, with the bloodline of that guy who was trying to stop him once and for all. That was a nice touch. About the 3 acts, the past, the present, and the future, I say I enjoyed like the past and the present sequences a bit more. The future was kind of like my last interest in the film. I mean, Pinhead just comes to his demise because there's an explosion on the spaceship, and Pinhead's like, "No!" and the spaceship fucking explodes. So Pinhead just come to his demise yet again in this movie. What else is good about this movie? I should say the nice, when you're naming a list of good things about this movie, it doesn't have any comparison to the third movie, which was kind of a disappointment. But again, it was nice to see Doug Bradley come back. It was nice to see Kim Myers come and make an appearance in this movie, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, playing Kim. When I look at all the other movies, I mean, Hellraiser 5 Inferno comes after this. I mean, I can accept that to some certain degree, but then we get to places like Hellseeker, which are pure dog shit Hellraiser movies, and they don't even feel like Hellraiser movies, but like movies where the script's going around saying, "Hey, we've got a script here, we've got a script there. Oh, we'll just take that script, put Pinhead in it, and call it Hellraiser." Because that's basically what all the sequels are about in the series. After part 4, I mean, Inferno, Hellseeker can kiss my ass. That's the one I dislike the most, Hellseeker, because I made Hellraiser all shat on and pissed on. And I'll get into that when I review that movie. So yeah, that's going to be a big rant. But watching the movie again moments ago, I paid attention to it in some capacity, but at the same time I was like, kind of want this movie to win. I wasn't like into it like the first three Hellraiser movies. You can tell the movie's been fucked with on different levels. Again, the plot about the idea about Pinhead being in space is a bit, but it worked on some levels. Again, it's not a disastrous movie. I prefer it over Leprechaun in space. I prefer it over Jason X. But and it was nice to see a little bit of history with the Bloodline, with the magician and the toy maker, with the configuration box. That was a nice little touch. So it was nice to see a little bit of background. Love that killing scene. With the chain going through that guy's neck. That was probably my favourite kill in the whole movie. They got the music and the timing right, and Pinhead laughing, the evil laughter in that movie. So it was nice to re-see, but I went into this movie not remembering much what happened in Bloodline, and I can't understand why, because it's definitely not the best one in the franchise, and it was the last movie to go into cinema, so I can understand the reasons why this was the last movie that went to cinema, because the kind of movies went from downhill from here. I will state some more things about this movie. I mean, I already mentioned it was released in 1996. In fact, its official release date was March 8th of 1996. Not a bad pace, 85 minutes. They made this movie on a $4 million budget. I made $9.3 million at the box office. Directed by Kevin Yeager. Written by Peter Atkins. In terms of the cast, like I said already, Doug Bradley comes back for the fourth time. We've got Kim Myers, who plays Bobby Merchant, who, like I say, who was in Nightmare on Street Part 2. Bruce Ramsey as the toy maker. The music could have been better in this movie. I mean, in my opinion, the best Hellraiser movie that had the best music was definitely either Part 3 or in Part 1. I like the theme music to the Hellraiser in Part 1. It's chilling, it's interesting. But in Hellraiser 3, they had like the Hellraiser, and the nightclub scenes, which made it even more cool, heavy rock sort of feel. Barker's reaction was mostly negative for this movie, so that goes to explain why it wasn't really that good. Yeah, but like I say, like I've already mentioned, this movie serves as both a prequel and a sequel, so got mixed emotions about that. I mean, many of the people criticised the movie, saying it was boring, on a level. I wouldn't say the film was boring, that's the wrong word to describe Hellraiser Bloodline. It's not a boring movie. There are some other entries into the series that are fucking boring, like Inferno, or... No, not Inferno. Inferno I didn't mind. I'd say Dead Air is probably the most fucking boring one, and I'll get to that when I review it, but there's not much more I can say about Hellraiser Bloodline, everybody, other than it's a mediocre movie. I wouldn't recommend it above Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. Definitely not. The trilogy is the best. But 4 is probably the last mediocre entry. But from this movie onwards, at least after Hellraiser Inferno, it just started to go down, which was really sad because, like I said, there's all these scripts going around, all these different fucking movie scripts, and they just seem to throw Pinhead in it and call it a Hellraiser movie. They don't feel like Hellraiser movies anymore. So this is the last Hellraiser film movie, in my opinion, Hellraiser 4 Bloodline, and that's kind of a shame. It's the last entry where you get that feeling that it's a Hellraiser movie. So thanks for watching this, everybody. Hellraiser Inferno will be next, and please leave a comment. What do you think about Hellraiser Bloodline? The movie does have its fans out there. I'm not bashing the fans, but not my cup of tea. Hellraiser Bloodline. I mean, I'm glad I just rewatched it moments ago, but I wouldn't see it again. It won't be one of my number one Hellraiser picks to see again. You know what I mean? So, thanks for watching this, everybody. Please leave a comment. Peace out.